Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the USA. My name is Tyler Storm, and I would like to welcome you to the 9th episode of StormWatch. I know you guys might be thinking at home, it's the 9th episode, and he's not doing a German episode, and I say to you, 9. Today, we are sticking at home in the Americas. We're sticking at North and Central America, the good places we call home. Our friends who are just west of us here in Florida, and, well, everyone all over the state of Florida even, has just been fantastic. Even just south of us in the Caribbean, things have been going fantastic too. I heard that there was a boating expedition that went sublime, pristine, everything you could ask for. It was a perfect Caribbean trip down to, what was that country? Cuba. I gotta tell you, it would be an ideal vacation for me anyways. We'll get to it later. But in honor of staying with the Americas, I decided to go with an American watch brand today. And I've covered this one before. This is the Evora Model 001 V2. Fantastic daily wear. It's not something you'd ever wear up, but it is a fantastic, just casual out to the beach, on a hike, going out to dinner, going for lunch, going to, I don't know, a fucking museum that you don't have to get all fancied up for. You can go and you can go and chill on an island. You can go and get pizza and soda with these watches. You can go and... there's really a whole lot of things you can do in this watches. You can even wear this watch while you're eating your pizza and not have to worry about the mess you make with it. Mostly because of the fact that they come with so many different strap options and frame options. You really just kind of buy the skeleton model that you want, and you can pick and choose any which way you want on any of them. So if you go out to eat and you spill some grape soda on your beige or whatever watch strap and you don't want to wear it, guess what? You can change it out for a teal one and it'll look fan-fucking-tastic no matter what. So Evora watches, baby. I recommend every single time. I got it was buy 2, get 2 free, or buy 3, get 1 free when I got them. They're always running great deals and they're not really that expensive. So you can buy a fuck ton of, not only just a fuck ton of the watches, but a fuck ton of the parts that come with them. I got a couples set, and that was probably 8 months ago, I'd say, and they've worked fantastically ever since. Every outing, every ding, you can, and not have to worry about any scratches or anything like that. Probably shouldn't do that, but whatever. It's a fucking advertisement. Evora, sponsor me. I'll wear your watches. Everybody, I need sponsors. So for all you at home, throw that shit my way. Send this to your companies. Pay me to mention you on my podcast. I need sponsorships. And we'll start with you, Evora, because I can tell you one thing. I am not getting it from here at home. I'm not getting it here in Brevard County. I'm more likely to get arrested for going speeding than I am to fucking get any sponsorships out of this town. Man arrested in Brevard County under Florida super speeder law after driving 110 miles per hour on I-95. This is, again, another week where I cover these fucking speeder things, and I'm not going to go through all of it, but it is fucking awesome that they got a polished, bald motherfucker wearing a Stitch shirt to be posed out front of it. This nigga does not look bothered in the fucking slightest, by the way. Homeboy is just chilling. He's giving the camera the smolder. And this is going to be a short episode, by the way, because if you motherfuckers didn't know, Scream fucking 7 releases this week, you fucking cocksuckers. Scream fucking 7, baby. And I am excited for it because it's my favorite fucking horror franchise, but I'm not excited for it at the same. I got mixed feelings. I got a little bit of angina about this because I can tell you it looks like it's gonna be a fucking trash run where they do another fucking movie about, it's my baby girl, you can't hurt her. And that's what it looks like it's gonna be. And I'm hoping that's not what it's gonna be. Every time the thing comes on in the theaters, I usually walk out or I close my eyes and ears. I'm trying so fucking hard to not have any spoilers. But these cocksuckers don't give you no spoilers with movies anymore. Have you guys ever watched any of these fucking movie trailers nowadays? 3-minute long movie trailer. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen in most of these films before I even have to see these films. There is one that's coming out. It's like Me After You or something like that. And every time I'm in the fucking theater, it's got that, it's starring the man from Him, that young kid. It's starring him. Starring him. And It's about this fucking bitch that apparently gets into a car accident one night with her ex-boyfriend while she's drinking. Well, not ex-boyfriend, with her boyfriend at the time. He's ex now because he died during the car crash. And she comes back to town after getting out of jail, has to find a job. And the boyfriend's parents hate her and don't want her to meet the kid they had together. And then she falls in love with the young boy. I haven't even seen the movie yet. I'm telling you the commercial, and I guarantee you, we're going to see the movie. You're going to see the movie. I'm going to see somebody's going to see the fucking movie. And this is going to be exactly what it is. Not even having to, and then they go on this whole emotional thing where she starts slowly falling in love with what was his best friend, by the way. Okay, how long after you've been dead can you sleep with your old best friend's girlfriend? How long after your homie's been dead can you sleep with his baby mama? That is a legitimate question for you guys at home. I've sidetracked so fucking much here. I wasn't even trying to get here. But the point is, how long do you wait for his dick to be decayed before you give her dick every day? Do you know what I mean? These are legitimate questions. And the whole film is literally about him just trying to stick his penis inside of her and like get her kid back. He didn't really like... You know what I've learned about a lot of these movies? Most people don't care about you unless they're fucking you. And that is why I say it's a beautiful thing to put out sometimes. This was not the lesson I was going down. I was talking about Scream 7 releasing this week, and this is supposed to be a short episode. And I've already, whatever. Short episode, Scream 7, so we're going to bully through this. Message from Sheriff Wayne Ivey. Brevard County, Florida, Ryan Heiss apparently wanted to be named our super speeder of the week, and as luck would have it, he succeeded by driving on I-95 southbound with a speed of 110 miles per hour. You know what? 110 miles per hour really is not jack shit. I know people around here who told me stories of capping out at 180 on the highway. I think I think the speeding thing is a little ridiculous at this week, and the dude was wearing a Stitch outfit. Did you expect anything less? Stitch was a super speeder in the TV show, or in the movie. I watched both the TV show and the movie growing up. I had awesome access to all the Disney things. I was a spoiled child when it came to the world of Disney. I'm surprised I didn't get touched more often, if I'm going to be honest. We've been over this before, but I'm pretty sure it's because I wasn't attractive enough. I was a chubby kid, and I tried losing the weight when I got older, but it's kind of hard. And sports, I mean, yeah, you can play sports all day and you'll be physically fit, but it's like, if you eat the way you want, you're never going to really be in shape or molestable. I mean, look at like Jack Black or something. The man's in complete fucking shape, but not molestable by the standards of most molesters. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's somebody out there that's trying to diddle that man and fondle him in ways he doesn't want. But for the love of God, why was I as a kid not molestable? Thankfully, Deputy Tyler Patterson was out on I-95 continuing our traffic enforcement. This is the only warning you're getting. I was able to pull him over and get him off the road, and he killed himself or someone else. What? Whatever, dude. Yeah, he was going to kill himself and someone else. You know, I've seen more accidents almost occur on 95 than anything else because there's a cop posted up just on the other side of an on-off ramp, and they'll be sitting there on the fucking side of the highway with their speed guns, and all of a sudden you see an entire wave of people who were going 10, 15 miles over the speed limit all stop on their brakes in unison, and everyone behind them in fucking succession, because when you look to the side, the cop is waiting there like a fucking cocksucker. And also, you're a sheriff. Why are you not stopping drug dealers? Leave it to the Florida Highway Patrol. We have so many fucking officers in Brevard County. It is absolutely crazy. I mean, we have a military base here, sheriffs out the wazoo, and they just keep employing them, even though they keep jerking them off in the cells. Heiss subsequently got a ride to Ivy's Iron Bar Lodge in the backseat of our courtesy shuttle, where our reservation specialists were able to get him quickly booked into a cell. You know, every time I've been in there, it's never quickly getting you in the cell. Ever. Anyone I've talked to, there's no quickly about it. They take their time. As part of his guest package, Heiss got a relatively new pair of shower slides, a new pair of pajamas, a souvenir photo that, without question... Yeah, you know, at some point, Wayne, you gotta stop just ripping into your fucking citizens, because I saw the fucking other day there was we were literally driving back on what was it, US 1 when this happened, back from fucking Coco. Again, Coco. Hey, Coco, you guys have been fucking on the ball, by the way. I got some stories for y'all. Merritt Island and Coco. We were coming back from Merritt Island, Coco area, and we saw what was a Coco police head on with a fucking Brevard County sheriff. They were taken out in the fucking median, stopping traffic. So you're telling me that this speeder here in this awesome ass Stitch shirt is more important than your officers not even being able to drive well enough to not ram into each other? And I guarantee you this is going to be like Wayne Ivey going at it with the Coco, and then they're all gonna be like, well, fuck the citizens anyways, and then he's gonna double down on all of us and everything, and he's gonna be like, look guys, I arrested somebody who harmed no one, but my officers can't seem to get their shit straight. Ignore that though. I don't know, there have been a lot of crashes around here, by the way. It's kind of crazy. There's been a lot of fires too. I feel like y'all are starting to go a little insane out here, and it's fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be lying if I said anything else. It's entertainment for me, and when it comes onto my podcast, it becomes entertainment for you guys. But just y'all are 2026 hasn't even gotten 3 months in, and we have so many big things are coming. This is just the beginning. Motorcyclist dies after crash with minivan in Merritt Island on Courtney Parkway. This is another motorcyclist. By the way, motorcyclists, for the most part, fuck you. Eat shit, eat dicks, do whatever. I don't really give two shits about you because I'm respectful of a lot of the driving and motorcyclists and all of that stuff that goes on here. But at some points, these fucking cocksuckers like to hog the road. Not only do they like to hog the road, but they like to speed through and inconvenience everybody and cause the most amount of... we'll be traveling on 528 or on 520, whatever the fuck it is we've got. I mean, both of these roads, actually. Or even on 95 on that 3-lane highway. And you'll see a motorcyclist or... whatever the fuck, the sports bikes, they're riding through on 95 and they're fucking zipping through traffic at 110 miles per hour. So, Wayne Ivey, if you're going to crack down on anyone, it should probably be the motorcyclists and the motorcycle gangs that we have going on here because, I've heard and had this happen to me multiple times. Just so many stories of these motorcycle gangs where there will be like 5 of them, 6 of them, and then they'll have 3 of them stay in one lane and then 2 go in the other, and then they slow down all of traffic and you see 20 cars backed up behind them. And you can't run them over. I wish you could run over a motorcyclist and a bicyclist at least one time per year. You can choose one. You can choose the motorcyclist, or you can choose the bicyclists, or you can choose... You know what? Fuck it. We're going to throw in a runner with that too. But they have to be in the road. You can't hop up on the sidewalk or in the medians and get the runners. Runners are usually respectful. I do want to say that. I've been a runner, ran with runners. They usually like to give you the right of way. Most people are not trying to be cocksuckers when they're running on their 2 feet because they know you can catch them every time. The only people who are cocksuckers are the people on 2 wheels who think, you can't fucking catch me, and they ride around like fucking Saw on that little fucking trike, that little faggy thing. You know what? By the way, motorcyclists are fags. They are a bunch of fucking faggots, and South Park said it best. My uncle, he's gay. He's not a faggot. A motorcyclist, most of them are faggots. Fucking riding through the streets like a bunch of autistic stimming retards. I can't explain it to you how annoying it is to be driving down US 1, be driving down the back streets, be out to dinner, and all of a sudden you can feel the fucking building vibrating, and all you hear is like a fucking group of goddamn Tourette's syndrome, curse word, obscenity shouting fag holes are sitting outside your building. And then you got the one with the big ass speaker. There's always one. and he's got this goddamn speaker system that could be supplying an entire beach, and they're always blaring the most god-awful fucking things or rock tunes that they never turn the fuck down on, and you just want to take a shotgun and shoot the speaker off and shoot their tire out from under them while they're riding down the road. You want to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm a good human who doesn't ever want to harm anybody else or stop any freedoms from anybody. But I do want to say, they are a bunch of faggots. They are a bunch of fucking retarded faggots. All these motorcycle gangs, all these bike whatever shits, you all can get pissy and say whatever the fuck you like. I'd love a motorcycle myself, but I don't want to inconvenience the general community like a bunch of you sorry cocksucking, dick-riding pieces of shit want to do. So, that's my little spiel on motorcyclists, and I know several of you are going to be at home complaining because Brevard County loves their motorcycles, and they all that whatever. The most fucking self-loving, narcissistic pieces of shit are the ones that own bicycles and motorcycles because they have nothing to do but compensate for their inept brains or their fucking lacking penises. That's Brevard County, Merritt Island, Florida. The Florida Highway Patrol announced on Saturday that a motorcyclist was killed Friday evening in a crash involving a minivan at the intersection of Courtney Parkway and Duval Street in Merritt Island. You know what? Good. We're taking out a motorcyclist and one of these fucking parents in a minivan. I understand that if you're in a minivan, you're probably not having a much better day than me. But when I look in the back window and I see your kid making a face at me, it makes me want to blow out one of your tires or sell your kid to Disney. And they're just going to give that kid to Epstein. Or they were. He might still be alive. Allegedly, he's alive. I don't know anything anymore. There's nothing that's real. There's nothing that's not real. According to the authorities, the collision occurred around 7:11 p.m. Around 7:11 p.m. State troopers report that a Toyota Sienna traveling northbound attempted to make a left turn, crossing into the path of a southbound motorcycle. Good. God damn. What do you want? I'm not going to cry about this one. I've done so many coverages of bicyclists getting hit on here that every single time it occurs to me to like try and say, maybe you guys should do something. I say, no, I'm not going to say something nice. I say to myself, I wish you would have got hit harder. Now, I don't wish death upon anyone. I would never wish that upon anybody. We don't wish death upon anybody here at StormWatch. We don't wish harm on anybody. None of this stuff. I'm not some fucking psychopath like Anton Chigurh. I am just, wow, man. 29-year-old Coco man killed in a hit and run on I-95 near South Route 528. Wow, not much older than me. Sad. All these shitty fucking drivers, man. All of you need to go and retake your fucking test because that's really what they should be doing. Instead of putting cameras in the school zones, by the way, the cameras have been implemented as of yesterday. We're recording this on the 26th. They released them on the 25th. And so I'm telling you guys, give it a year and they're going to be using those cameras for fucking speeding tickets. They're going to be using those cameras to catch people who are hiding. I knew people who were evading cops for 6 months with warrants for their arrest. And that's going to be lost for a little while. Brevard County, Cocoa, Florida, 29-year-old. Yeah, they're going to be using it to identify whoever hit this person and then dipped. They're going to be using every camera they got. Brevard County, Cocoa, Florida, 29-year-old Cocoa man died early Thursday morning after a hit-and-run crash along I-95 in Brevard County, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. Was he speeding? Was the person who hit him speeding? The incident occurred on northbound I-95 near the State Road 528 interchange in Cocoa. State troopers say the preliminary findings indicate a vehicle traveling northbound struck a pedestrian for reasons that remain under investigation. Because he got in the way. That's why he hit him. I'll say this. You know why people get run over? Because they get in the way of vehicles. You know why people get run over on 95? Because you're on the side of a highway. And people are gonna, you know what? Why are you walking on that? There's no fucking sidewalk on 95. There's no fucking way. Walk in the bushes. Walk in the goddamn trees on the side of 95. Walking on the side of 95. Are you retarded? Clearly, everyone here is retarded in Brevard County. We're the bretards. You know what I mean? We're Bretard County. That is what we are. Bretard County. Fucking Brevardiots, window licking bastards. This is why you get run over. State troopers say, oh yeah, whatever. The driver fled the scene following the collision. The pedestrian, identified as a 29-year-old man from Cocoa, was pronounced dead at the scene. All northbound lanes of I-95 in the area were temporarily shut down as authorities investigated and cleared the roadway. That explains why I was getting back to town late. Traffic was restored several hours later. Authorities, not early enough, authorities are looking for the driver of the vehicle involved in the hit and run. Debris found at the crash site would suggest the vehicle is a possible red semi-truck, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. Bitch, you ain't finding shit. There was a semi-driver that hit. Y'all ain't finding shit. Y'all motherfuckers ain't finding shit worth a dick. Y'all are not finding shit worth a dick. They hit that man and they dipped. Let me tell you what. This was like Scream all over again. Hit that bitch and then fucking dip. Because, well, I guess was there a car crash scene? I'm trying to think about this. There was a couple scenes that involved cars. The one woman who was getting killed in the car in part 4. Part 6 where the car was turned on and Red Right Hand was playing and then the guy got stabbed. There had to be another car incident. Yeah, there was a fucking car accident in Scream 2! It was in Scream 2. The fucking agents that were with Sydney were trying to help her escape, and guess what they did? They crashed. Guess what? Agents crashing. Why are the police officers not getting tested more for their driving? And semi-truck driving. You know what? I'm not even going to blame the semi-truck driver. Have y'all ever seen a semi-truck driver's schedule? That is the most awful fucking thing on the planet. Those men either need to be paid more, get more time off, get more pussy, or be put out to pasture sooner with more benefits, because you run those horses till they are dead. And let me tell you what, they will run and run and run and run. Fucking truck drivers are workhorses. They are the equivalent of engines. They're the equivalent of the engines they drive. That's why you consumerist fucks are able to enjoy your shit, because of truck drivers. They're allowed to hit one person a year. He should document this under his one person a year. You shouldn't just go and like hit random people and then not include it as your documented one person a year. But truck drivers, one person a year. Cops do not get one person a year. If they kill one person for no fucking reason, then god damn it, it better be so that way it can make it onto this podcast. Any other reason is retarded. Although I don't think cops should be killing people. They do enough violating as it is. They definitely violate people enough. Have y'all ever been searched? Woman faces multiple charges after forgetting to empty cocaine from jail purse. You see what I mean? They are violating their citizen. Oh, she pretty. Brevard County, Florida, while you do get to bring your belongings with you to jail when you get arrested, it's probably a good idea to empty out your jail purse. They're talking about your asshole, by the way. For any of you who at home who are innocent and good Christian minded and all this other boo-hooey fucking nonsense. She stuck cocaine up her asshole. Asshole! Before arriving at the concierge deck, especially if it's filled with cocaine. I mean, if your luggage is cocaine, let them pass. Did you bring enough cocaine to share with the rest of the class? Well, I mean, I guess so. I thought I was going to get to have all the cocaines to myself. Well, you don't get all the cocaine to yourself. You have to share with the group. That's why the fucking sheriffs confiscated it. They were originally going to split it among everybody, as the sheriffs do, but they instead decided to confiscate it and just put it into evidence. They're probably going to resell it back into the community and all that stuff like they do, but allegedly. But whatever. Let me not get a fucking lawsuit from my local fucking police department and other bullshit. By the way, this is not real cocaine for any of you at home. This is a fucking fake kilo that I taped up myself. It looks fucking fantastic. It looks realistic, doesn't it? Doesn't it? No, this is not real fucking cocaine. Never done cocaine. Do not endorse the general uses of cocaine. Except apparently they use cocaine medically in some instances, but I'm not even going to get into that right now. All I got to say is if you're going to do cocaine, make sure it's clean, make sure you test it, make sure that you are not smuggling it into the police system or at least into jail or whatever it is, because I promise you they're going to find it when they look up your asshole. They make you bend over and cough, and if they see that, they can see inside you. And then they're either going to let you squat that shit out, or they're going to fucking, like Kill Bill, just pull out your third eye. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Of course, that's a piece of advice from Diamond Osborne, who was arrested this past Monday. Diamond Osborne. Wow. D-Y-M-O-N-D. Diamond Osborne. Wow, that is a beautiful name, I do want to say. It's just that... Her parents had a little bit of money. They didn't want to name her Portia. Who was arrested this past Monday, could have used prior to getting arrested for throwing a cinder block through the back window of someone's vehicle. You know what? Fuck it. Free her. Now, while her reasoning for doing that was still a mystery, it did earn her a courtesy ride to Ivy's Iron Bar Lodge. So one day in like 10 years, when he's retired or dead or something like that, or 20 years, however, I don't wish death upon him. What are they going to call Ivy's Iron Bar Lodge? Are they going to call it the Battalion of Bravardian Bastards? They'll call it the SS. The sheriff cells. They're going to change the C to S because they wanted it to look nicer. The SS. You know what? I've thrown my fair share of rocks through windows in life. I did a song about it once, and it was a beautiful thing. And I think that if people threw bricks through windows instead of killing each other, the world might be a better place. I think you should go home and find the nearest brick right now, and I think you should go to a window and say, fuck that window, and fucking yak that fucking brick through the window. Do it as hard as you can, as fast as you can. Try to aim for a building without people in it, but if you can't find one, then I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. The point is, yak that fucking brick through the window. Do it. Just do it! In honor of Shia LaBeouf, who was also arrested this past fucking week for apparently beating up... I was going to say for beating up faggots. I guess I did say it anyways. And then I was going to say for beating up queers. And then I was going to say for beating up gay people. There was no winning with any of this. There was no winning for any of you at home. So Shia LaBeouf got arrested for beating up a bunch of like gay faggot queer peoples. And then they released him the fucking next day. They just, apparently you can assault people in this country and just be out within fucking hours. Or sexually assault people and be out within hours. Shout out my boy Andy. We're going to get to him here soon enough. We're touching you again, Andy. We're going to touch all over you. I know you like it, but we ain't touching you in the ways you like this time. Prostate, baby. While she was being booked in and changing into her exclusive resort attire, she told our corrections staff that she had actually a bag of cocaine in her jail purse. Wait, she admitted it? Why would you admit that? You snuck it in and you admitted to have... Commitment issues. We talked about it last week. We talked about it the week before. We'll probably talk about it again in every episode ever. As long as people can't commit to things, we will talk about commitment issues. You smuggled cocaine into jail and you couldn't just wait until you were inside? I know it was going to smell a little shitty, but I mean, come on. You already put it up there. You should have just fucking I don't know. Throw it in the grass. Snort a little bit and then just go into jail. Say fuck it. Hide it under your titty. Stick it in your belly button. They don't check in your belly button. They're probably going to check in your belly button now that I said something about it. Whatever. It's so sad. In addition, Diamond admitted that even though she was handcuffed behind her back while being transported, she was able to maneuver her hands enough to eat some additional cocaine that she had concealed inside her pants. Where there's a will, there's a way, and where there's cocaine, there's a nose or a mouth for it. Or a titty or an ass to snort it off of. A subsequent search revealed that she had approximately 6 grams of cocaine tucked away in her. So, with that, Diamond not only got charged with criminal mischief for throwing the cinder block, but also Introduction of a controlled substance into a detention facility, possession of a controlled substance, and tampering with evidence. I've heard of pack and carry on when traveling, but this takes the statement to a whole new level. You know, Joe, fucking Wayne Ivey, these are supposed to be my lines, you sorry cocksucking fucking faggot. He's our sheriff. Respect. Much love, much respect. Wayne Ivey, friend of the show, fan of the show. Probably not. Probably never will be. If he listens to this show, let me tell you what. I don't listen to his podcast. I sure as fuck don't listen to his podcast. Because that sorry motherfucker is going to do nothing but make fun of people. Who has a podcast where they just sit there and rip into the citizens? Why would you ever go out of your way to sit there and make fun of people? It's just disgusting. Especially make fun of your own fucking, citizens, your own neighbors, your own cronies, your own peoples. Why would you make fun of anyone local to you? I find it disgusting. You should never make fun of anyone ever in all of the world because it's offensive. You should never go out of your way to try and offend others. You should never go out of your way to try and make others the butt of your joke. You should... With some of these things, I try to see how far I can actually go, and I just can't. Oh, these are actual tears. I'm actually crying laughing at that. Are you kidding me? Make fun of everyone and everything. Fuck it. Fuck them peoples. Fuck them if they're red, black, white, gay, straight, trans, Jew, the fucking Chinese, brown, yellow, orange. Make fun of them if they're inanimate. Make fun of them if they're fucking whatever. Are you kidding me? Make fun of everyone. You know how fucking hard it is to come up with good jokes nowadays? Do you have any clue? Of course you don't, because you're a bunch of fucking losers. You're a bunch of fucking losers who have never tried to make a joke a day in your life. What does that say about you? That you're pathetic, sad, humorless, fucking goyim worth being judged. Make fun of everyone. Are you kidding me? This is fucking what I live for. Are you kidding me? I thought about this the other day. My show and most people's shows nowadays would not thrive without the misery of others. And I want you to consider that when you're going on with your days today, because nothing thrives without the misery of at least one person. Come on now. You can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs. You can't make jerky without at least 3 children. You can't drink grape soda without canning the grape soda. You can't molest children if you don't have children to molest. Right, Epstein? Right, Bill Gates? God. You gotta have... Where was I going with this? I started somewhere. Commitment, smuggling cocaine in the butt, making fun of citizens. Yeah, make fun of people. When you get home later, I want you to look at your wife or your husband or your mother or your father or your kids, and I want you to just point at them and laugh. I don't want you to say anything. Don't even just point at them and laugh. I want you to just, point at them and laugh. Laugh at that fool. Fucking act like they are beneath you for at least a second in your life. Just so you can understand what good humor is. Take it at home. Look in the mirror and laugh at yourself. Your nipples may be large. Your nipples may be small. Your eyes may be large. Your eyes may be small. Your penis and vagina may be large. They may be small. The point is, laugh at something. I don't care. But make fun of everyone. Oh, it's like Tiny Tim at the end of Christmas Carol. And make fun of everyone. God bless us. Wait, hold on. God bless us. Make fun of everyone. Fucking terrible. Really, I don't think there should be anyone or any joke that's off limits at the end of the day. I think you should be able to make fun of every person from the top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top, from the front to the back. However you take that position with them, you should just be making fun of them. You know what I mean? And It's like in 21 Jump Street. Sometimes you just gotta burst through that ceiling. You gotta burst through that ceiling. You know what I mean? And it just everyone should be your joke. You get what I mean? Kids with cancer, kids without cancer, kids, parents with cancer, parents who give people cancer, parents who contribute and donate to cancer. Fuck that nigga cancer. Boo this nigga. Point at this nigga and boo him. Boo this nigga. I'm talking about cancer, of course. That is at you, Mr. Cancer, if you're ever willing to respond. I don't think Mr. Cancer will ever respond. He's been known for centuries now and hasn't made one sentiment regarding anything we have going on with our society. Just continues to plague us. My point is, fuck cancer. Fuck people who were born in the zodiac sign of Cancer. With your 69 symbol, just taking people. Make fun of them. Go find somebody who has cancer or is born in the cancer or something about cancer and make fun of it. Or don't. I mean, you really don't have to, but it is a fun pastime. I'm not even going to pretend otherwise. What would I know? I know nothing. Humor is meant for all. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you only have so many pleasures and so many joys in life, and it's not all just about Wuthering Heights and Homelander and watches and touching kids and cocaine and all these other things. Life. Fuck, where was I? Hang on. It's coming back around. Wait a minute. Fuck, where did I leave off? I don't even remember. The point is, 10 Cubans on U.S. boat intended to carry out an armed infiltration, Havana says. So, yeah, there was a boat that got gunned down in Cuba, or on the outskirts of Cuba, and maybe this was my entire point, is that this is my first time ever seeing Cubans try to infiltrate Cuba. You know what I mean? For the first time ever, for the first time in a long time, Cubans are trying to get back to Cuba. This is something new. This is something unheard of. This is the great Cuban migration of 2026. They're all trying to get back to Cuba because they're tired of Floridians. I know there's more Cubans in America than just in Florida, but there really are a lot in Florida. It's like, I mean, it's their first stop into America. I'm going to go to fucking Texas. They're certainly not going all the way up to New York. Not with as cold as it is now. They are Caribbean folk. They are banana raft people. They are tropical from the southern North Americas. You know what I mean? Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. would conduct an independent investigation before responding. 4 people on the boat were killed, the Cuban Interior Ministry said. Oh well. People are killed coming into this country. People are killed leaving this country. Where are you supposed to go and not get killed right this very second? Seems a little hostile, if you ask me. You can't go to Mexico. You can't go to Cuba. You can't come to America. You can't go to China. You can't go to... They don't even want you in Greenland. They don't even want you in Greenland. You know how fucking sad that is? Greenland people don't want you. You can most likely die there and they don't want you. Alaskans don't want you. They're not even a separate country, but it feels like it half the time. Whatever. The boat, which was registered in Florida, was carrying 10 armed individuals who, according to preliminary statements from those detained, intended to carry out an infiltration for terrorist purposes, the Cuban Interior Ministry said in a statement. Wow. We got American Cubans performing terrorist acts on Cuba. That sounds kind of bass-ackwards, if you ask me. This is kind of reverse. How the turntables. I don't actually know how to feel about this. I've never, in all my time, we tried to kill Castro dozens of times. We basically own Cuba at this point. Pretty sure we do. I don't even know what the status of most of these people are. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm an ignorant fuck. It's just fun to see. I don't know, sometimes you got to take it back to home. You know, that's the whole point of this episode is, what is home to you? What is Homelander to you? Where do you land when you go home? Where is the home you land at? Where is the home you're landering? For some of these people, they want their home in Cuba back. They're trying to take back what was appropriated and taken from them. I think that's a beautiful sentiment regarding everything. I think that when it comes to culture and prospects of your future and what you expect your own people to look like at the end of the day, sometimes you need to take 10 guys and a raft and go over to Cuba with a bunch of guns. You know, this sounds like that King of the Hill episode. Cotton Hill got a bunch of his old fucking war buddies and they kidnapped Hank and framed him and made it look like he was on his way to assassinate Castro. And so they got him fucking pissed drunk, left him in a museum, and then Cotton Hill, Colonel Cotton Hill, may he rest in peace, was trying to get his entire little platoon to go over there, oxygen tanks and all, to kill Castro. And that was a beautiful fucking story. But he wasn't Cuban. And I think the fact that these guys are Cuban trying to take back Cuba makes it so just, mwah, chef's kiss. You know what I mean? It's like Americans trying to take back America. It's like Chinese trying to take back China. It's like Mexicans trying to take back Mexico. These are the things that you really want to see in the world. Assault rifles, handguns, improvised explosive devices, Molotov cocktails, bulletproof vests, telescopic sights, and camouflage uniforms were seized. Clearly not enough of it if they're getting gunned down like that. The ministry said that the incursion happened Wednesday morning and that a commander of the Cuban border guard was injured in addition to 6 people on the U.S. boat. Good for them. All members of the group were Cuban residents of the United States, according to the ministry. Americans, baby. We do it best. We do everything the best. Our food, the best. Our citizens, the best. Our drugs, the best. Our immigrants, the best. Our uneducated, the best. Our poor, the best. Our rich, the best. Our products, the best. Our sex offenders, the best. Our gang members, certainly the best. On Thursday, Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel said in a statement posted on X that it will defend itself against any terrorist and mercenary aggression that seeks to undermine its sovereignty and national stability. As all fucking people should do, you should stop terrorist groups. By the way, for all you at home who are against gunning down terrorists, having guns, having a wall, all of these things, I'm just saying, if Cuba had a wall, I mean, think about that. Little island with a giant fucking wall. No one's getting in there, not even other Cubans. Not without their say-so. Fucking Cubans attacking Cubans. It be your own kind, you know what I'm saying? That was a fucking terrible joke. It was so bad. It be your own kind. We're going to find out exactly what happened here, and then we'll respond accordingly, Rubio from St. Kitts and Nevis, where he was attending a conference with Caribbean leaders. Rubio said from St. Kitts and Nevis. Maybe they were on their way to get Rubio. Maybe they were just like they were stopping in Cuba on their way to get Marco Rubio. This is a thought. This is a thought. Maybe it was Cuban Americans attacking an American through Cuba to get to an American. Cuban Americanception. Cubeception. Cubanception. Cube. This is going to bust my brain until I figure something out. Cubericonception. There you go. Cubericonception. Rubio added that a shootout in the open sea was highly unusual and that the Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. Coast Guard were both investigating. Yeah, a shootout in the open sea is highly unusual. Have you been anywhere near Somalia? Have you ever been to Somalia, Mr. Marco Rubio? There are actual fucking pirates over there that will board your ship. I've seen so many videos of these fucking like armed naval ships that have to put barbed wire on the deck, load it around the fucking stairwell, go inside and hatch everything down. Still make sure that they're armed. Make sure that nobody gets on or any, like really any kind of chance onto that ship, because these fuckers will take it over without hesitation. These fuckers in an armed raft will take over a fucking a naval ship. That I'm just saying. Oh, maybe that's why Cuba was afraid. Here I am making fun of these guys like they're not going to do anything about it. Maybe the Cubans were watching Somalian videos about their pirates and said, nay, we're not letting anybody come in here. No chances whatsoever. Even if they look like me. Even if they speak my same language. Even if they are my family. It's not something that happens every day. It's something, frankly, that hasn't happened with Cuba in a very long time. Yeah, because most of your people are trying to get out of Cuba. Most people are trying to get out of Cuba, not get back into Cuba. I think that's kind of the confusion here. The Cuban ministry said the people on the U.S. registered vessel initiated the firefight, which took place 1 nautical mile northeast of El Pino Channel off of Cuba's northeast. You should not go engaging in a country with an open gunfight unless you have the same guns. I do want to be clear about that. Assassinations, coups, insurgencies. Things that make no noise until they go boom. You don't want things that just go bap, 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 bap. You want things that go bang, one big boom. Not that I'm recommending it. No one should become a part of a terrorist group. No one should become a part of a terrorist insurgency. Those are bad things. These are things you don't want. This is not something you want. You don't want it coming into our country. We don't want it going into their country. All we want is cheap, free, non-fentanyl induced cocaine. Please. I know Cuba's not giving that to us. They give us cigars and bananas and bread. But come on. We can work something out. When a surface unit from the border guard troops of the Ministry of Interior... When a surface unit of the border guard troops of the Ministry of the Interior carrying 5 service members approached the vessel for identification, the crew of the violating speedboat opened fire on the Cuban personnel, resulting in the injury of the commander of the Cuban vessel, the ministry said. That's a shame. You know what's crazy? They gunned these fuckers down. No one was killed on the... Wait, hold on. I can't say no one was killed on the Cuban side because the Cubans were killed by the Cubans. So if the Cubans killed the Cubans, if the Cubans kill Cubans and the American Cubans, Kilban. The government department named one of the people killed as Mitchell Ortega Casanova. They killed Casanova! He fell into an obsessive and diabolical quest for Cuba's freedom. His brother, Missile, motherfucking God, what the fuck? Misael. Fucking Missile Ortega Casanova. There's a whole crew of Casanovas. What does this guy think he is? Casanova or something? Told the Associated Press. He said his brother was a truck driver and an American citizen who had lived in the U.S. for 20 years and was married. Only U.S. Cubans who have lived over there understand, he said. He was married. He's a truck. We talked about truck drivers not even 10, 15 minutes ago. Do you see what I mean? We need to pay them more. We need to get them laid more. Or we need to put them out to pasture sooner, or they're going to try to invade Cuba. If we don't compensate our truck drivers, they are going to try and take over Cuba, and we cannot stand for that. We cannot allow Cubans to take over Cuba, because that is not the way that this world runs. No way in any way, shape, or form should Cubans be trying to take over Cuba for the Cuban sake of Cubans. That's an American thing to do. The ministry also listed the names of the 6 people who said had been detained, but most have criminal histories. The injured people were evacuated and received medical assistance. Rubio said that most of the information the U.S. has heard about what happened is what Cuban authorities are providing both the public and the U.S. government. So the stories match. Thank you, Marco Rubio. The Cuban border guard alerted the U.S. to the incident Wednesday morning, and Rubio was notified at that time, he said. Asked whether any U.S. personnel were involved in the incident, Rubio replied, no. Clearly, U.S. personnel were involved in it because they were U.S. Cubans. What do you mean, U.S. personnel involved? Oh, I think they're asking if this was something they knew about. Of course they knew about it. They know about everything. They are the all-seeing eye. Tensions between the U.S. and Cuba have heightened over the Trump administration restrictions of oil shipments to Cuba. Hold on. Jesus. I'm having a hard time reading today, if you can't tell. I'm a bit fucking retarded. I've got Scream on the brain. I've got Scream on the fucking brain, baby. It's a fucking Scream. Tensions between the U.S. and Cuba have heightened over the Trump administration's restriction of oil shipments to Cuba, especially from Venezuela, though the U.S. announced Wednesday it would allow some sales to Cuba's private sector. So we have issues with Venezuela, we have issues with Mexico, we have issues with Greenland, we have issues with China, we have issues with Russia, we have issues with Ukraine, but thank fucking God we have a good relationship with Israel. And thank fucking God we can strip other countries of their oil and supply it to other countries and not even our own U.S. citizens, and not even supply it to our neighboring countries who are willing to pay fucking dollars on the dime to make sure that they are getting their stuff. All I gotta say is we do not have U.S. interest in our best interest lately. It doesn't feel like it anyways. And maybe I'm wrong and somebody is gonna be like, well, you're just an American hater. I'm going to tell you right now, this was almost a Team America episode. This was almost a Team USA episode, and I'm going to get to one of those soon enough. I promise you guys. I will list off all of the great things America has done. I'm waiting for it. All of you cocksuckers at home, you're going to find out what America really is, baby, and what American boy I am. And the point is, we're really not focused on anything to do with U.S. interests. We're just trying to line a few people's pockets who have the deals going on, not actually any of our citizens, which is why oil is going to fucking other countries across the Pacific, Atlantic. What are these oceans anyways? I don't know my oceans. I can tell you where every one of the 50 states is, but I can't tell you which ocean is which. See? See what I mean? That was so bad. Oh my goodness. Holy fuck, that was bad. Several Florida officials have called for an investigation into the incident. Yeah, there should be an investigation if 4 people are killed. State Attorney General James Uthmeyer said on X that he has... Why is everybody posting on X? Why, this is not like this is the new way that politicians and people who make decisions are getting to you. It's not through like actual in-person interviews. It's not by direct statements where they go in front of people and give it. They're sitting there on the fucking toilet after just reading the same article you just read. They're like, this fucking sucks. They won't say that. They'll be like, this is a terrible tragedy that has struck the American citizens again, and it is a shame that to see our citizens going into performing such a thing. We will put an investigation on this as soon as possible and figure out who needs to be punished, blah, blah, blah. They do the same fucking thing every single time. It is the same fucking spiel, jargon, mumbo-jumbo crap fest that they dump online. I miss the good old days when a politician would look you in the eyes and lie to you. If you're going to lie to me and molest me, I want you to make eye contact. If you're going to look me in the eyes when you're trying to stick a finger in my butt, I want you to look me in the eyes. Look me in the eye. Look here. I'm going to put these back on because these lights are killer, but look me in the eyes. If you're going to molest me, tell me the truth while you look me in the... If you're going to lie to me, look me in the eyes while you lie to me. Look me in the eyes while you lie to me, you bastards. Don't just use me. I'm not just a plaything. Holy shit. I'm not just mommy's good little boy. Not just mommy's little plaything. Sorry, Wuthering Heights is still in my fucking brain too, if you can't tell. Whew, holy shit. My point, State Attorney General James Uthmeyer said on X that he has directed the Office of Statewide Prosecution to work with our federal, state, and law enforcement partners to begin an investigation. You mean the same law enforcement that's raping little girls in churches and then covering it up for Mr. Epstein? That law enforcement? Is that what you mean? The law enforcement that's focused on speeders and not his own officers hitting head to head with other officers? He added that the Cuban government cannot be trusted. What a random fucking addition. They gave us our information. They're giving us the people to question. They're conducting a search the same way we are, but they cannot be trusted. Who can you trust? We can't trust our fucking officers because they're raping people. We can't trust our politicians because they're raping people. We can't trust the Cubans because they're killing Cubans. Who do you want me to trust? I trust me. You should probably try trusting me too. It might do you some good in life. You want good advice that's from a bad person or bad advice from the worst of the good? I got you, baby. I got you. I will tell you the proper ways to touch yourself and someone else. It's what I do. You're welcome. You're welcome. Representative Carlos Jimenez what are these fucking abbreviations? Called the confrontation a massacre and said the U.S. must determine what happened and whether any citizens or U.S. residents were victims. They just said that everyone there. Oh, I see what's happening. This is another one of those moments where they're sending out a group of people that they know were supposed to be there so that way they can have them whacked. And then everybody gets up in arms. Oh my God, you should see this. We should start invading Cuba. We need to be in Cuba now. Now Cubans are fucking attacking American citizens. Now American citizens are blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you don't. You remember when I said like a fucking week ago, I think it was last week, that they were going to have like a bunch of fucking things spread across the state so that way they can find reasons to bring ICE over here. They were going to start doing a bunch of random things with with immigrants and Cubans and Venezuelans and Dominicans and all that stuff. They're going to have like 10 big instances across the U.S., across Florida here. And I'm willing to bet that wildfire down in the Everglades, they're going to try and blame on an immigrant too. Because there has been a lot of stuff that's been happening across the state. This wasn't even something I was going to try and touch on, but like 1,500 acres or 15,000, whatever the point is, a lot of fucking acreage has been burned by random fires that keep getting started in areas where they're going to be developing a lot of new complexes. Just interesting that these fires are happening. People who happen to be U.S. citizens that are also Cuban are getting gunned down outside of Cuba and U.S. Maybe I'm right. I don't like being that guy, but I think I'm right. And I think you guys should start listening to me, and I think I should get more sponsorship from this. I need someone to supply me coffee, because this was Starbucks coffee, and it's not bad. I feel a little cracked out, you know what I mean? But it just tastes like espresso shit. I want some good home brew. Bring in the Colombians that have coffee, not cocaine. Bring me in the Mexicans with coffee and not cocaine. Well, I guess there's not very many Mexicans bringing in as much cocaine right now. They're too busy burning Mexico down. Similarly, Republican Debbie Wasserman Schultz called for an investigation and said the Cuban government version of events could not be trusted without scrutiny. I love that everybody in this is like, you can't trust the goddamn Cubans. I know they weren't even trying to come over here this time, but they killed U.S. Cubans, and that's not right. That ain't gonna sit with me. I may not like Cubans, but there's one thing I dislike more than Cubans. It's Cuban killing American Cubans. That's disgusting. That ain't justice. That ain't it, pal. You can't go killing American Cubans even in Cuban territory, even if they were invading you and trying to commit a terrorist act. Who are you to gun down our citizens? Who are you to gun down our fucking citizens who were trying to invade you? You fucking pieces of shit. You fucking piece of shit bastards. Who the fuck do you think you are? You didn't even step foot on American territory, but you put your bullet in a U.S. citizen, and I will not stand for that. That's why I'm sitting down. Most of them sit down, too. They're all fat pieces of shit. This is why if I ever go into politics one day, I'm going to make sure I lose weight. So that way, all of you can't say anything about, he made fun of fat politicians. I'm going to be a thin politician. I'm going to make fun of those sorry cocksuckers, too. I'm going to make fun of all of you. Fat, skinny, tall, small, cuck, non-cuck. Everyone's getting made fun of. What the fuck? My office has been contacted the State Department for more information. Yeah, hold on. My office has contacted the State Department for more information, but it's notable that this occurred in spite of ongoing Trump administration negotiations with the Cuban regime. That word keeps getting thrown the fuck around a lot. Regime. The current regime change. The regime change. The regimes. Regimus prime. Yeah, and I pulled up another article to see if there was anything different. Okay, here we go. We got the fucking names of the people, actually. They all say it's a terrorist act, and people are like, we need to perform an investigation to make sure they're not bad. I guarantee you, the U.S. and here, I love making predictions now because they seem to come true to a degree. Not going to hope that all of them come true, but let's just play a game and see which ones do and don't. Okay? Here's another one. They're going to flip this, and they're going to say that the Cuban government lied and that the citizens on that raft were Cuban citizens armed by a terrorist group. And not only was that terrorist group arming these Cuban citizens, but they were funding the entire endeavor outside of it and helped plan this out with the Cuban government so that way they could blame the United States and cause more dismay among the citizens. That's what we're going to say. I would bet money. And then the Cuban government is going to say, no, these were U.S. citizens. You're just trying to deny it as you deny everything, clearly, because your offices in your regime are trying to blame everybody else on everything. And then it's going to go back and forth. And then we're going to stop supplying Cuba with oil because there's going to be an embargo on them. And then we're going to restrict all the oil and pull it over here to Florida and send the rest over to most likely fucking Israel and other states over there. While we sell some of it off, I mean, we're continuing to send a fuck ton to Ukraine. A fuck ton to Ukraine anyways. Even though we're supposed to be out of that war by this year. Wasn't that what we were promised, Donnie? And now we're over here doing more wars? More fucking wars? The fucking president of peace. Much respect. I did vote for this motherfucker. Not this last time, because clearly I wasn't able to. But when I did, I was younger, and I'm not even going to pretend otherwise. I would have done it again if I went back there because I was voting on the idea of national pride and independence and trying to push for more, how do I say this? Less dependence on foreign nationals way overseas and maybe some more dependence on the Americas as an entirety. Maybe making better deals with Mexico and Cuba, maybe creating a stronger alliance across all of Central and Northern America. But we didn't get that, and we're not getting that. We're actually getting destabilization of the entire North Americas and Central Americas. And the stabilization of the Middle East some fucking how. I don't understand how that's working. We're trading in our stabilization for a bunch of sand monkeys and their freedom. Jawas get freedom and U.S. citizens don't. Just saying. And I'm not talking about the muzzies. I'm talking about the Hebes. You guys here in the U.S., you know what we should call it instead of anti-Semitism? We should call it the Heebie-Jeebies. I think that's a much funnier term. This has nothing to do with anything, but this is some of my predictions, and I hope y'all get a kick out of it. The ministry identified one of the 4 victims who were killed as Michael Ortega Casanova. We went over this. 6 others who were arrested were identified as, oh my God, Amigail, Amigail. I know that's not how it's pronounced. It's probably Amigel or something like that. But Amigail Sanchez Gonzalez. Here, we're going to read this in the Florida accent because apparently Florida just don't like Cubans like that. Amigail Sanchez Gonzalez. He got jail in the name. He was meant for it. Leorden Enrique Cruz Gomez. Leorden, that ain't right. He should have been named Jordan. Oh, wait. I don't like the name Jordan either. God damn it, I can't get away from him. Conrado Galindo Cereal. You see, at least this man's got something nice in his name, Conrad. You know what that means? That means he... Oh, wait, Conrad, not Comrade. Oh, well, it's close enough. Comrade is basically the same. Jose Manuel Rodriguez Castello. I'm probably pretty sure that's pronounced Jose or something like that, but we gonna call him Jose. I once knew a Josie around here. I'm pretty sure his family still lives around here. Christian Ernesto Acosta Guevara. Christian. The one good member of their crew. Probably the person trying to convince them not to. He's a Christian boy. We stand by him. TPUSA, I say. And Roberto Azcora Consuegra. I actually am curious. Amejel Sanchez Gonzalez, Leorden, Enrique Cruz Gomez, Conrado Galindo Sariol, Jose Manuel Rodriguez Castelo, Christian Ernesto Acosta Guevara, Roberto Escora Consuegra. See there, you got the made fun of version and the actual attempted version, you bigots. Fucking pieces of shit. Always worrying about names and such. To be fair, I have read some outlandish ass names here. I read to you a woman named Diamond earlier. Her name is Diamond. Diamond. I'm not Diamond. Those identified and alleged motives have not been confirmed. The ministry also said a seventh person, Cuban national Daniel Hernando Santos, was arrested on the island of Cuba and alleged he had been sent from the U.S. to guarantee the reception of the armed infiltration. See what I mean? They're gonna say that this was all worked in and it was a part of a plan with the Cuban government. Excuse me. Coffee. And I'm a gas person. I was a colic baby. What you gonna do? To guarantee the reception, the ministry said, I don't really know what else to add to this. Cuban regime, embassy in Havana working on things. There is no escaping it. Y'all are fucked, boss. The U.S. is gonna blame you. Cuba's gonna blame you. You're gonna get caught in the crosshairs and get stuck in Guantanamo Bay. You're gonna get mo, boys. You're getting raped by CIA agents. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. A lot of people have alleged that this stuff happens. Maybe I am saying it does happen. Maybe I am. I wouldn't know anything. Of course, I'm a good U.S. citizen. I am a native of this country in more than one way. Unlike you banana rafters. Unlike you goddamn Mexicans, unlike you Somalians, unlike you people from across the seas, unlike you Russian women, unlike you Russian whores that Billy Gates can't seem to stop sleeping with. What the fuck just happened there? Poor Billy Gates, who you can't seem to stop sleeping with. Goddamn right, Bill Gates can't stop sleeping with Russian whores. That's the whole point of this. Hey, I said this last week about Andrew, and I'm saying this about all of them. They're all going to start admitting to like minor versions of the crime so that way they can't get charged. Or that way, if they do get charged, people are going to ignore them if they get charged with something small. And that's the truth of it. Billy Gates is not going to get charged with anything. He's just going to have this come out as a scandal, but he's not a president, so it's going to be a minor scandal. People are going to still buy his products, whatever the fucking case is, even though he's genetically altering your food and vaccines. He's only going to admit that Bill Gates admits affairs with Russians, but denies illicit behavior. Yeah, of course he is. He's going to deny all of this shit until the day he fucking dies, just like all of these people do. I once had a group leader who said, nobody would die for a lie. And I 110,000 million billion jillion % disagree with that, because there is no way that some of these fucking cocksuckers are not dying for a lie. I can promise you that Billy Boy Gates is going to run to the grave with this one, just like they all will, because nobody wants to admit to raping and eating children. Not everybody does. Some people do in small group and in like personal company. Like, imagine you're sitting down at a party, at a full-blown fucking party, and this dude's like, man, I can't find any fucking baby around here to eat. Like, what? Yeah, don't you ever just like want to nut in a child and then devour it while it's still alive? No, Dave, kick him out, please. Kill this man. Boo this nigga. But if you're at like a small gathering, like an intimate dinner, and it's just like you and 4 other people, you're like, man, this dinner's nice, but it really feels like it's missing something. The other person across the table goes, what do you mean? Like person, right? We have a full assortment of foods here. What's missing? Person? The guy looks at him and goes, actually, now that I think about it, would you guys eat person? And the first guy who made the joke was like, yeah, actually, maybe in like good company if I was like something that was just offered to me, and I wouldn't go out of my way for it, but if you have it, you have it. You know what I mean? And the third guy is like, I guess I never really thought about that. Give me a minute. Would I try eating human? Would it be seasoned? Of course it'd be seasoned. Would you try it in different dishes? Well, of course you'd try it in different dishes. Can I have it with an aioli on a sandwich? It's your human. You can put it on whatever you want. Think you might be getting me. And then that fourth guy at dinner is just like, you want to eat human? No, I wouldn't say I want to eat human, but I'm saying that like if you had it, you had it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, would you not? And the guy's like, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe if it was like I had no other option, sure, I'd eat the human. And then the fifth guy at dinner, who I forgot, it's this guy and 4 other guys. That's why I said the fourth person. So then the fifth person, the last guy's like, you know, I never really I forgot to mention this. I mean, I didn't really forget to mention. I was trying to avoid bringing it up because this was kind of just going to be my night for it. But seeing as you guys are so interested, I have a 6-year-old in my trunk. No fucking way, James. Yeah, I got it. Picked it up earlier today. Just, I don't know. It was sitting outside the school. No teachers were looking, so I just grabbed, throw in the back of the truck, and drove off. There were no cameras or anything. The school zone cameras weren't recording anything. They were only focused on like during times when the school was in, you know what I mean? And it was past that time. But the point is, I mean, it's probably passed out by now from lack of oxygen. You want to go give it a try? And then that guy in the corner who is terrified is just like, there's no way. There's no way. He's kidding. He's got to be joking. He's like, yeah, I fucking highly doubt you have that. He's the one person who speaks. Everyone else is just like, oh, no. They're like jabbering to each other. There's no fucking way. Does he really have that? Would you guys try it? Were you serious? You'd try it? You'd eat the baby? You'd eat the kid? And the guy's like, yeah, right. And so the guy who says he has the kid, he walks out. Hear the door close. They've got music playing in the background. They've got Charlie XCX playing in the background from Wuthering Heights. In this house, I'm gonna die in this house. And then the guy walks back in with the child slung over his shoulder. I'm gonna die in this house. And everyone's like, yeah, he came through. And then they have a satanic sacrificial ritual so that way they can eat the child. See, what I imagine that you don't just eat children outright. I imagine that it's something you get like coerced into. Like with that group situation I just described to you. You know what I mean? That's probably what happened to them. Have you guys ever watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show? There was a scene where they killed Eddie. And then later on in the movie, Master, dinner is prepared. And then they go in for fucking dinner. And they carve up what looks like a ham. And Later it turns out, lo and behold, it's fucking Eddie that they're eating. So, like, is that how it works? Does somebody trick you into it? It's kind of like when somebody puts their balls in your food. They're just like, ha ha, I put my nuts in your food. And they're just like, ah, you fucking rascal, you. Hey. Darian, guess what? You're eating a kid. Edgar, you made me eat a kid. Come on. And he's just sitting there slapping his knee with his buddies. This is what I imagine goes on the island. I have nothing to do with any of this. I have no affiliation with any of these people. StormWatch is a child rape free zone. I promise you. I digressed so far from Bill Gates. The billionaire told staff that he had trysts with 2 women and apologized for his links to the pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, he's apologizing again. He's doing the same fucking thing where he's blaming the fucking bitches. Blame the bitches, don't ya? Why don't you just blame the bitches? Bill Gates had apologized to staff for his ties with Jeffrey Epstein, admitting that he had 2 affairs with Russian women, but insisting they were not Epstein's victims. No, he was just introduced to them by Epstein. I'm sure they weren't victims in the slightest. Every woman, even the youngest women, volunteered for Mr. Epstein. No one was a victim on that island. No, and I'm sure even the kids and the little babies weren't victims, right? Everybody on that island was a volunteer. I'm sure, Mr. Billy Boy. The Microsoft founder 70 acknowledged his infidelity. I did have affairs, one with a Russian bridge player who met me at bridge events and one with a Russian nuclear physicist who I met through business activities, he told staff. Yeah, okay. You know what? This is a good way to play it off, especially if you pay them to play it off. The billionaire's name appears thousands of times in the document and he denies any wrongdoing. I did nothing illicit. I saw nothing illicit. Nope, not in the slightest. You were just trying to use him for his money for all your philanthropic endeavors. You were just the most benevolent, kind, generous, happenstance man that he just happened to meet a bad guy. He just happened to have a couple plane trips with a really bad guy. He never stayed the night with him, never visited the island, none of that. I'm just fucking sure. You know what? I've touched on Bill Gates before, and we're going to touch on him again, but oh my goodness, man. This is a fucking smarmy cocksucker if there ever was one, and I really, really hope that it comes out that he's lying. I don't hope that it comes out that he's lying. I hope that all of these people who are lying get shown the true light of what it means to be wrapped up in truth. Because these smarmy, evil, vile, negligent, horrific, pedophilic, sorry, demonic cocksuckers need to... not a fan of them. This one I've never been a fan of. You can kind of smell the smarm and the evil. Certain people you can from like 1,000 miles away. You can look them in the eyes and see the vile demon lizard thing that blinks behind the shadow that they have put in front of you. Like Ellen, Bill Gates, all these people. When you look them in the eyes, there is nothing there. That is a soulless demon. Hillary Clinton, that is the witch of the waste. That is the witch of the waste. And this, like, she is just trying to pretend that she's not the witch of the fucking waste. For any of you who don't know, that's a Howl's Moving Castle reference. And that woman, they're witches. She was actually part of a coven, allegedly, and they did sacrifice kids, all this other stuff. So who knows? Who's to say she's not the witch of the waste? Who's to say any of this isn't real? Maybe the witch of the waste was based off of Hillary Clinton and her predicted future. All these fucking evil, evil people. It's like, even look at my boy Andy. My boy Andy is a fucking demon. I know I say my boy Andy and I hate Bill Gates. I hate them all. I really hate them all. It's just fun to like... It's fun to pretend to pick sides because that's what everybody's actually doing. They have like decided to pick sides and say, well, my pedophile's not bad. My pedophile's not bad. Your pedophile's bad. Screw MAGA. My pedophile's good. Screw the liberals. My pedophile's good. Me, my pedophile, me. I told y'all to pick your top 3 pedophiles and you took me too seriously. I told you to pick your top 3 pedophiles to support and y'all went to fucking bat for it. Tim said it probably, y'all were in the works. This has been it. But like, they did free my boy Andy basically right after they fucking captured him. And they're still just alleging that it was abuse of power while he was in charge of finances or something. He was sending backdoor messages to Jeffrey Epstein about the royal finances and the royal goings on. And I'm pretty sure actually he got the money for Little St. James from the royal family, if I'm not. I think he got Little St. James from Prince Andrew or the Queen. I know it was one of those people, but Epstein did not get that money from nowhere. It definitely came from fucking somewhere because he had estates. That nigga had estates. He had the largest house in New York, probably still one of them. He had an island in the Caribbean. He had a ranch in New Mexico. He had like 2 places in Ohio or something like that. He was getting funded by some really fucking powerful and rich people, like my boy Andy. Nothing is happening right now with him other than the fact that he's getting stripped of his princely title. And they're trying to banish him from the UK because of everything. Prince William is trying to have him banished. He's urging King Charles to have Prince Andrew banished. And I think that's fucking hilarious. I do want to say that is a beautiful... Even family is turning on family at this point. The royal family is selling out their own to hide any fucking connection with Epstein, even though they're probably all connected at some fucking level, or at least the royal family has spent so much money with the Epstein fucking ordeal, the Epsteins, the Epstein estate, the Epstein whatever, that the ties can't be ignored or unbroken at this point, even if you tried. And the only way to try and do that is to get ahead of it, to say that he was just abusing his power and wasn't molesting little kids, and to kick him out of the fucking royal family for that. So this is another one of those situations where they're going to be trying to pin everything on one guy. I said this last time, and they arrested somebody else. It was Peter Mandelson. I don't really know much about him. I know he was an ambassador to the U.S., and he has ties with Epstein. There's a lot of royals and high-ups in the UK that have ties with Mr. Epstein. And my boy Andy, I'm sorry, my dude, but you're probably not going to be a prince anymore. You're probably going to have to lose that title, and you're going to have to be really kind of just banned from everywhere. I feel so bad for you. I'm so sorry. Prince Andrew, friend of the show. Prince Andrew, friend of my boy Andy, free Andy. Let him stay free. He's actually probably going to serve like 5 to 10 years in a maximum security, whatever, with his own cell. And it's going to be like Ghislaine, where they make it out to be like, they're absolutely in distress. They need this, that, or the other. Didn't she get allowed like an emotional support dog while she was in jail? Wasn't she allowed like fucking yard time, double what everyone else was? She had she had spa equipment and spa like face masks and stuff like that she was allowed to use in jail. That bitch was spoiled. Even in jail, she was spoiled. I need connections that next time I go in, I can live that luxurious. Hopefully never again. We're gonna knock on the Bible for that one, but if I have to go, dear God, keep me connected. Like my boy Andy, if he goes. Although I gotta say, I wanted to touch on this last time. A couple of these photos that I see him in, and before we move on to anything else, I know we're running out of time here. I didn't actually intend to take this long on a lot of stuff. So we're gonna close out quick with Andy and No Country for Old Men, because this really is no country for anybody at this point. No country is a country for anybody anymore, but especially not my boy Andy. Holy shit. Excuse me, don't smoke, y'all. Fucking terrible for you. Sometimes you shouldn't bring people water, by the way, especially if they're in a truck in the desert and they're asking for water after a shootout over heroin and millions of dollars. Don't bring them water. Let them be. Somebody's going to get to them. I promise you that. But back to my boy Andy, there was a couple photos that I wanted to touch on. And the primary one is where he's crouched or leaning over this young lady. And he's just fucking looking up at the camera like, hey, do you fucking see this? This fucking broad is passed out. This is crazy. This is fucking wild. And then the next photo, she's got her arm up and he's looking down at her and he's like, you okay, love? You okay? Hey. It's like an Eyes Wide Shut. He's like, I don't know what the hell happened. She had one of those, what do you call them? The snowballs or the speedballs or whatever it is. And she passed out and I don't know what to do. And then Dr. Bill comes to save the fucking day. Instead of Bill, it's your buddy who's like, hey, guess what? Click. She's dying. Click. And the funniest part about this, and I mean this with every fiber of my being, the funniest part about this photo with Prince Andrew is that somebody has their feet kicked up in the background like a lazy boy recliner. They're fucking in the back posted up like, yep, this happens every day. This is a normal endeavor. This is just a person laying dead potentially on the floor because of our good Prince Andrew having to strangle somebody to death in order to come. Sometimes, though, you need to strangle somebody to death in order to come, and the good prince can afford to do such measures. So, don't ignore the stain in his pants. Just help clean up this woman. That's probably like Ghislaine or somebody in the background. Just with the funniest part, and I mean this, is their feet are kicked up on the bed while they're sitting in a chair. And they're just watching it. They're just like, yeah. Can you hurry up, please? We need to keep things going. Just watching. Sometimes you don't need to strangle a woman to death to come. You just need to watch a person strangle a woman to death in order to come. You know what I mean? Prince Andrew, my boy Andy. And it really is not a good look. And not just because the person has their feet kicked up while somebody is potentially dead on the floor, but because this photo is fucking horrible. Nobody's smiling. Nobody's going out of their way to make a funny face or anything like that. These are candids. It's just like, Andrew's just like, God damn it, you walked in and you've got a camera? That's not going to help me right now. Could you call for somebody, please? It looks so casual too, and I'm gonna make sure that this photo gets to you guys, but like, he looks up at the camera and it's just so casual. It's just another day like, oh yes, I had to strangle a woman to come. It's just another day on the island of Mr. Epstein. He had to strangle this bitch to come. She does look like she tried to recover. I have no clue if that woman ever recovered. I have no clue anything about any of that. Does anyone have any verifications? Other than the emails I read to you guys stating that he apparently was there when a woman was strangled to death for fetish sex. You know what? Sometimes. This is me doing Prince Andrew's imitation. He's just talking to his buddies. Sometimes I like to see the life leave a woman's eyes in order for me to have my most satisfying orgasms. They are spectacularly hard-throbbing orgasms. You just need to take anybody. It can be really anybody. It can be a 6-year-old. It can be a 26-year-old. It can be well, we really don't go much higher than that. But you can just strangle them to death with impunity. And his buddy's like, dude, can you please play your hand? This is Uno. I wasn't trying to like make this game take this long. I understand this is your fetish, but like, that's not what I'm into. I'm an autoerotic asphyxiation kind of guy. Not really a child molester or a other person strangler. I like when there's a gerbil up my ass and I like have to jack off while I'm dressed like Batman and I'm getting hung. I like to be hung while I'm hung. Another photo involved in all of this that I think is fucking hilarious. Not hilarious. These are all horrible things, but I like to make my jokes. He's sitting there rolling a fucking titty ball with a toddler. He has, and I mean it, I shit you not, this is a beautiful rug, by the way. I do want to make a comment real quick. This, like, fucking Persian-style rug, oh, it's fucking gorgeous. The furniture in the back, just, truly, the mansion is beautiful. This is a beautiful place, and all of that stuff. Never mind that, though. Y'all ever been to Spencer's or a sex store? They have those, like, squishy rubber titties. Well, picture our good Prince Andrew on all fours crawling towards a 3-year-old. Well, who's playing with the squishy titty? And they're just rolling it back and forth. It's a good time. It's just, that's what you do with kids. You give them squishy titty toys and you play with them before you molest them. Isn't that right, Andy? Sometimes you just have to warm the child up. And it's not about like warming them up in a pot, because he's not trying to eat them yet. He's just trying to warm it up so he can have sex with it. Consensually, of course, because no one was a victim of Epstein. No one was a victim of Epstein or Prince Andrew. They just abused their power ever so slightly so that way they could get a lot of money. That's what all this is about, is the money. There's nothing else involved. It's not about espionage and honeypot scandals. It's not about blackmail. It's not about coercing countries into genetically testing their own subjects. It's not about releasing viruses into the public. It's nothing to do with control. It's all about money at the end of the day. That money. You know why Prince Andrew was molesting this kid? For money. That's all it was. It wasn't blackmail. It wasn't because he's a sick pervert. It wasn't because he probably is a demon, a lizard demon. It's because he was trying to get money. That's what we can chop all this up to at the end of the day. These royal scandals, these fucking photos of him walking through the park with Mr. Epstein after Mr. Jeff after he was fucking ousted for being a pedophile in the early 2000s. Not a good look. You know, if your buddy comes out as a pedophile and is charged with it, you probably shouldn't hang out with him much anymore. I guess that's just me. I saw a pastor the other day say that he's a friend of pedophiles. I don't actually know what that means. Don't know what that means. But I guess Andy is a friend of the show. Jeff is a friend of the show. Ghislaine is a friend of the show. Billy is not a friend of the show. He's the second enemy of the show. Him and Mark Ruffalo. Billie Eilish is working her way there. She truly is. She is making her way into being one of my top hated peoples. But enough about our celebrities, enough about foreign celebrities and about Billy Boy Gates giving people STDs and my boy Andy molesting kids. Let's come back to the Americas and end this at home. Did you guys know recently America helped participate in another assassination? This is beautiful. We helped take out El Mencho. We helped take out one of the most known and notorious cartel leaders in all of Mexico, and all of Mexico is now on fire. It has been for days because, that Jalisco New Generation cartel in Mexico has been causing violent destruction across Puerto Vallarta area. Many American tourists remain stranded due to canceled flights and closed airports. Yeah, because they're setting fire at the airports. They're setting fire to buses. They're kidnapping U.S. citizens. They've declared war on Mexico and the U.S. I said this a few weeks ago. It's interesting that they closed down El Paso before all of this happened. What were they smuggling into the U.S. and what were they smuggling into Mexico? Because it was U.S. intel, apparently, that gave Mexico what they needed to in order to get El Mencho. This is what I mean by this should have been a Team America episode, because all America, fuck yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America, fuck yeah, freedom is the only way, yeah. Terrorist, your game is through. Now you have to answer to America. Fuck yeah. Come on, man. We're the Homelander of everything in this world. Our country is like Homelander right now. We're obsessed with titty milk and children's stuff. Titty milk is awesome. You ever had titty milk? Whatever. My point is, we're obsessed with weird fucking murder, pedophilic titty things, weird Nazi things. We're obsessed with, like, kind of just taking what we want and being able to do so. And one of the things we took is the life of a cartel leader, which is not going to pay off for us. I'm telling you that right now. I know it seems like it might in the short term, but long term, this is not a good idea. There is no time in history in which you should ever consider killing a cartel leader and not thinking you're going to be going to war with somebody. The man had a $10 or $15 million bounty on his head. This was not some, like, whatever you want to call it, some small time person. This was the leader of one of the largest cartels, arguably the most dangerous cartel in all of Mexico. And I want to say this right now, this is not going to turn out well for US citizens or Mexican citizens, at least not for a little bit, because there are still US citizens trapped in Mexico. This is over the last week, we have seen things catching on fire, not just catching on fire, being set on fire, shootouts, kidnappings. The fucking dude, I know that it seems in the best interest to take out the cartels. And maybe to a degree that's right if you want to stop the drug trafficking. But you have to consider how full scale you're ready to go when you're trying to assassinate a leader of anything, whether it's another country, a cult, or a cartel, gang, mob, whatever you want to call it. You really need to consider your options because your citizens will fucking suffer those consequences left, right, and center in the country and ours. And I do want to say, this is like in fucking No Country for Old Men. You know, there was a scene towards the middle of the movie where they fucking got Llewellyn. And let me tell you what, they tracked him down with no tracers, nothing. He went into hiding, got new clothes, disguised himself, everything. And they still fucking got him over a couple $1 million. What do you think they're going to try and do to a U.S. politician over the killing of a fucking cartel leader? It is not going to go well. I don't think it is. And they're trying to, I'm pretty sure there's rumors that they've elected a new leader of the cartel already. And this is another person from America. This is the funniest thing. And this is something you should tell to people who want to argue about the border and all that other stuff. These leaders were U.S. citizens or came over for U.S. citizenship, took the information they had, went back and made the cartels that much stronger. Not saying that we shouldn't allow immigrants in. Not saying any of that. What I'm saying is California has produced now, apparently, or potentially, the new leader of this fucking new generation Jalisco cartel. You know how fucking crazy that is? California, man. Fucking Gavin Newsom, he's just like you. He reads at a 960 like a retard. He knows how to talk, kinda, but he can't read, really. And he supports terrorists. They produce the most terrorists. Some of the most, anyways. California. Highest rate of terrorism. Beautiful terrorism. We love their terrorism. This is not going to go, I'm telling you guys, this is not going to go well. We're only seeing the beginning of this, and this is the second month of 2026. Last month, it was Maduro. No hesitation. We just went and kidnapped another country's leader. And now we're having what's potentially going to be an embargo on Cuba. We're stripping oil out of Venezuela that's not benefiting the U.S. citizens. And now we're assassinating cartel leaders in the name of stopping drug trafficking into the U.S. And while I agree that there is potential that this can occur, it will only get worse before it gets better with a situation like this. So, anybody further, all I got to say is, this should be prepared for full-scale war at some level. Even if it's small, there will be something. There will be responses. I'm not wanting it, warranting it, or anything like that. I'm just being a bit of a realist about this situation. And this isn't a joke or anything. This is, how do I say this? No Country for Old Men is our movie of the day, but this is no country for anybody that has a good heart and wants peace. This is no country for anybody. No country for El Mencho. No country for its own citizens. This is going to be fun. And just like I said, just like in the movie, they 9 times out of 10, if they don't get their guy, they're going to go out fucking trying. They will not stop trying until they are dead, or you are, or somebody is. Cartels are known for this. They truly are. The point is, though, No Country for Old Men, what a fucking fantastic film. It's about this country bumpkin who's out hunting one day, and he stumbles. I'm not even going to sit there and make jokes. This was a fantastic fucking movie, one of the greatest movies of all time. I could sit there and make jokes, but the jokes more come from the fact that it kind of just feels like real life at this point. Feels like something that you might actually encounter if you lived in Texas in the 1980s. And just even now. The film is technically about 3 different individuals, but it stars and the main protagonist is Llewellyn Moss. And he is out hunting one day and he shoots a deer and he tries to track it down and he comes across what looks like what was a Mexican standoff that everybody got gunned down in. And there were a few trucks, people dead. In the back of one of the trucks was a fuck ton of heroin, and the other truck in the driver's seat was was somebody just sitting there asking for water. By the way, hence the gallon. Hence why I say just let them dehydrate to death. They should have their own water, because really water is not a human right. It's a human privilege, if we're being honest here. And so he investigates the area, traces down the last guy, and he finds a $2 million suitcase. A suitcase filled with $2 million. I tried to have a suitcase here, but all I could do was this fake cocaine. I couldn't even get real cocaine. I couldn't afford real cocaine. And I'm on probation. I can't have real cocaine. You can't have real cocaine anyways. It's illegal. But he takes the $2 million home, and he hides it. And in fucking comes along Anton Chigurh. And Anton investigates the area because he's hired by one of these big guys who was supposed to be doing the deal, or one of the business owners who was hiring the people to do the cocaine deal for him. And he winds up killing the 2 workers out there, and takes off the fucking plate and tracks Llewellyn down to his fucking house. By that time, Llewellyn is already gone and skipped town with his wife and her mother and all that stuff. And the sheriff comes around investigating after Anton's been to his house. It really is a giant chase scene where Anton is trying to chase down Llewellyn. Llewellyn's wife is trying to convince the sheriff to help save Llewellyn by either leaving the money or whatever. But Llewellyn is fucking stubborn as fuck. He's going to make sure he makes out with that money. He has a run-in with Anton where they have a little shootout with each other. He slips over to Mexico, and then enter Woody Harrelson, who does phenomenal, by the way. Not a fan of his acting. Does great, though. Eventually, though, the chase has to end. Llewellyn winds up at a Motel 6 where the cartel guns him down. The very same cartel that wanted that money guns him down. And then afterwards, the sheriff walks up on it, sees the entire endeavor. This fucks him up. He's about to retire anyway, so this just like sends it over the edge. And Anton winds up tracking down Llewellyn's wife, arguably murdering her. Some people like to think that she didn't get murdered, but she got fucking murdered. He fucking whacked that hoe. And kills his wife. And then it shows the sheriff visiting his brother. And there's something I want to leave y'all with. And there's something that I really want to make today's episode about at some level is this quote. This country's hard on people. You can't stop what's coming. It ain't waiting on you. That's vanity. This life is not easy. This world is not easy. This country is not easy. And it's certainly not kind on young people, old people, or anything in between. This country's hard on people, and what you got ain't nothing new. Life isn't going to be waiting on you. And I promise you that much. Life wasn't waiting on them. They got to Llewellyn. And at the end of the film, Anton is driving off. He looks back at some kids, not in the molesty fashion, in the murdery fashion. And as he's driving off, he gets hit by another car and then walks off into the sunset with bones sticking out of his arm. And then we end on the sheriff talking about his dream. And I'm going to leave that for y'all to figure out because that it's fantastic and I'm not going to keep going anymore. I got to go binge Scream. I got Scream 1 through 7 to fucking watch and y'all need to fucking go see Scream 7. No Country for Old Men was beautiful. This is No Country for Young. This is No Country for Old. No Country for El Mencho. And No Country to be sold. Thank you all. I'll see you fucking next week. Have a beautiful day. Later, bitches.